One thing we can all agree on, whether what game you favor more, it's true that both of these games includes two very different gameplay styles of the same characters. And no, I'm not talking about the platforming or Bruce sections. I'm talking about Classic Sonic and the Werehog. To give a basis, if you don't know already, Generations and Unleashed is split up into two different gameplay styles that are required for beating the game. Classic Sonic for Generations and the Werehog for Unleashed. Classic Sonic is just what the name is. Classic Sonic is meant to be the same Sonic from the 90s and replicates the same gameplay from the classics ported to 3D. Classic Sonic's personality also tries to replicate the classic titles, using show and tell and being a lot more expressive rather than just straight up talking. Classic Sonic's gameplay focuses a lot more on platforming, and the moveset is quite simple. All there is just a simple jump for a simple platforming and the spin dash, which can be used to give a burst of speed. Other than that, that's it. Nothing else. Now we move on to the Werehog. The Werehog is a version of Sonic the Hedgehog, except a werewolf. So he's Sonic the Werehog. Also, that kind of makes no sense because the were and werewolf means man and not wolf, so technically he should be called Sonic the Hedgewolf, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue as well, so we'll stick with Sonic the Werehog. Anyways, Sonic is this version of himself, as Dr. Eggman drains the power of Sonic and using it to summon the monster that is known as Dark Gaia. As Eggman does this, he mutates Sonic into a beast, giving him longer quills, thicker fur, stronger arms with stretching capabilities, shorter legs, and some fangs. For some reason, this transformation gives Sonic an entirely new and different gameplay style. This includes combat, parkour, puzzles, platforming, all in a lot more calmer and slower gameplay style. Now here comes the part where a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but I like the Werehog better. Now you might be wondering why I chose this, because while I do like the classics, don't get me wrong, I just don't like how Generations ported the physics and gameplay to 3D. There's just something about the level design, music, or gameplay that I'm really just not a fan of. But that doesn't mean I don't like Classic Sonic at all, and I don't think it can be redone to fit newer, updated standards. I mean, after all, Sonic Mania is a perfect example that proves that you can still bring back the classic formula and achieve it successfully. I just don't like the constant 2D gameplay, and ooh, look, nostalgia. How wacky is it that Sonic is in 3D? Sonic's jump in this game just feels off, and the gameplay mechanics for this character are just very limiting. You just have the jump and the spin dash. That's two moves. That's it. The only reason why I would understand why people like this gameplay so much is because they have a strong affection to it because they grew up the classic games. But if we say those classic games never exist and Sonic's first game was just Sonic Adventure and the classic gameplay style was just brand new, first appearing in Generations, I really do think it would have a negative reception. But if I had to say something positive about this guy, is that they gave him a good personality. He's very expressive and I find him quite amusing. For Werehog Sonic though, I can absolutely defend this guy. For anyone watching this video and doesn't know already, Sonic Unleashed's reviews were the exact same. Day stage is good, night stage is bad. But luckily, over time this game's reception has gotten a lot more positive day by day, and even hitting many people's top 5 Sonic games list. But my response to the day good, night bad is, well, you're just trash at the game. Sure, the gameplay for the Werehog does last like 20 to 40 minutes a level, and it's sometimes challenging, but that's kind of the idea of what sets Sonic Unleashed apart from the other Sonic games. It's a lot more difficult, which sounds horrible on paper, but trust me, it's amazing. The game just feels a lot more rewarding when you beat a challenging level, because you actually feel like you'd have done something from your skill, and you don't feel like just a participation trophy. Another people like to poke at is that the Werehog's slowed gameplay doesn't belong in a Sonic game. And my answer is, what? I mean, take Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, for example. The two most highly rated 3D Sonic games of all time. Now tell me, how many playable characters did it have? 6. 6 different characters. That means you have to beat the game to 6 different characters and 3 different gameplay styles, yet it still holds the highest score by fans. And you know why? Because it balances the fast-speed gameplay of Sonic with slower characters, but still has interesting mechanics so the game doesn't feel like it can be accomplished in 2 seconds. And that's not even the 3D titles too. Throw in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, considered to be the best classic Sonic game. One of the main reasons why it's so good because it offered 3 different characters to play as, so the player wouldn't be constantly hit by repetitive speeding gameplay. Sonic Unleashed is no different from Heroes, Adventure, Adventure 2, Shadow the Hedgehog, 06, Rivals, Riders, Battle, Forces, Generations, Advance, Teams Up. As you can tell, the Sonic series is no stranger to adding different gameplay to balance out the speed of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's almost required at this point. The last thing I want to defend about this character before we move on It's a puzzle and combat. And I know this is a personal preference, but I love the combat system. It's just so fun and entertaining. I just love beating up these little things so much. You can literally do anything. There's such a wide variety of different night enemies. There's a flying types, shield types, healing types, electric type, electric flying type. The list goes on, and it's so fun beating these things up. Not to mention, there's such a wide moveset. You want to defend yourself because you're on low in health? You can do that. You want to throw yourself high in the air and then end up smashing the floor? You can do that. You want to grab a hold of enemies and throw them around and be able to play with them like toys? You can do that. You want to run through enemies like a bullet? You can do that. Do you want to activate super strength? You can do that. Do you want to abuse the enemies as aerial support? You can do that. I really don't see why anyone would not like this fighting system. And like I stated 3 times already, it's fun. And the puzzle system, it's absolutely fun. I just love games that actually make you think and try to put actual mental effort in order to beat a stage. In Werehog levels, you'll find yourself constantly making elaborate plans to proceed through a level, doing things like exploding your moveset and finding out what works and what doesn't. And when you do something all by yourself, trust me, you feel like Einstein, except the one before Einstein. The puzzles and hidden secrets in this game are quite rewarding and is overall great. Here goes another point to Unleashed. I've already made my point, haven't I? I'm not even gonna bother you by restating everything I said. I already told you why this game has incredible graphics, remarkable soundtrack, my favorite voice acting, an amazing well-written story, while not the best but great controls, and addictive both Werehog and Hedgehog gameplay. To give a quick review, Unleashed holds a great soundtrack and really has a well-written story that ties in with the gameplay. The game is very fun and entertaining. I really like all the effort and work that was put in this game. There's just so much to offer. The character development is great and I would love to see more like this. The story making you go across the planet and visiting remarkable places that's based off of our world to save citizens from Dark Gaia and Eggman to return the world back to normal. It's just so awesome. To summarize, this game is just like an awesome world adventure, which is actually surprisingly the title of this game if you live in Japan, which I kind of find funny. If I hadn't made my point clear enough already, it's Unleashed who learns this point. I'm not even going to bother you by talking about generations. You already know what I'm going to say.